and welcome. My name's Tolan and I'm the co-founder of ProductivityMe. In this video, we're going to look at the keyboard shortcuts of CtrlAltDelete and CtrlShiftEscape, two methods for using Task Manager to close down windows and applications. As we've discussed in numerous earlier videos, one of the most popular ways to close a window is to use your mouse and to click the System button that looks like an X, located on the upper right portion of any application window. That window, and potentially the application as a whole, would then close. Another method that you could use to close a window is to use Task Manager. Task Manager is particularly useful if an application or window has become unresponsive. There are a few ways to launch Task Manager. The first method that you can use to launch Task Manager is to search for it within the Windows Start menu. You could do this by pressing the Windows key once and then starting to type the phrase Task Manager. Once your results start to populate, you could then click the Task Manager icon within those results, and Task Manager would launch as soon as you hit the Enter key. A second method that you could use in order to launch Task Manager is to take your mouse, scroll down to your taskbar, right-click on that taskbar, and then from the set of choices given to you in the corresponding pop-up menu, you would select the one labeled Task Manager. Alternatively, if you want to launch Task Manager, there are a couple of keyboard shortcuts that are good to know. The first is CtrlAltDelete. CtrlAltDelete's actual functionality, what screen this keyboard combination will bring up, depends heavily on the version of Windows operating system that you're using. For example, in Windows 8 and 8.1, CtrlAltDelete will bring up a menu of choices called the Windows Security screen. The Windows Security screen looks something like this. On the other hand, if you're using a Windows operating system such as Windows Vista, then pressing CtrlAltDelete will likely bring up the Windows home screen, and your home screen could look something like this. In other cases, older versions of the operating system might actually just bring up the Task Manager application itself. However, if you're using Windows 8 and there's some intermediary menu, like that of the Windows Security screen, then you would scroll down to the bottom of that and select the Task Manager option from those choices. Once you have the Task Manager launched, you'd select the program or application that you wish to close from the set of choices given to you. And then once you've selected that, you would go to the bottom portion, the right-hand part of that dialog box, and press the button labeled End Task. Boom, it's gone. A second option is that if you'd prefer to launch Task Manager with less steps than those involved in using CtrlAltDelete, you would have the choice of using CtrlShiftEscape. Unlike using CtrlAltDelete, the keyboard shortcut CtrlShiftEscape will immediately launch the Task Manager. There's no intermediary step that you have to deal with. Once you launch Task Manager, you can then select the application that you'd like to close and press again the End Task button. Alternatively, rather than close the entire application, you can instead select a single subset of windows from one or more applications. In order to do this, you would press the little right-facing triangle to the left of whichever application you'd like to examine. This will activate a little drop-down display of all the active windows currently running in that application. In order to select the number of windows that you would like to close, rather than close all of those windows, i.e. the application, you could select one or more of those windows by holding the Control key and using your mouse to click on any additional window that you'd like to close. Once you've made your final desired selection, you would use your mouse or your keyboard to press the End Task button. Thus, this would immediately close your selected application windows. Having closed those application windows, you could then proceed with additional desired tasks as you had so planned. All right, having gone over this method, it might seem worth adding a word of caution. Task Manager is a relatively high-level method for closing applications. Using Task Manager as a way to close applications will not prompt you before closing the application. Remember that if we were to use the System buttons to close a Word document for which we had made changes, yet we hadn't yet saved our work, then Microsoft Word would prompt us asking us whether or not we want to save our work. This is not the case when we use the End Task button within Task Manager. Furthermore, there are quite a few methods of closing applications that are more effective. Not only are they more effective, but they might use fewer mouse clicks or fewer keystrokes than that of Task Manager. Thus, at least in my own opinion, given the choice of how to close an application, I generally will choose methods other than Task Manager. In the next video, we'll cover one of these alternative options. We'll look at the application level keyboard shortcut of Alt F4, a dynamic approach to close a single window and/or application. All right, we really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to spend with us. And as always, thanks for watching.